"24 years ago, the City of Springfield approved a tax increment financing district entitled Park South in a historic decision to rehabilitate an abandoned 125-acre heavy equipment assembly plant contaminated brown field site that represented an economic and psychological dark cloud over the community. November 7th, 2012 marked the end of the Park South tax increment financing district as it related to initiating new projects. Because the state of Illinois property tax system lags payment by 1 year, for example, 2012 taxes are payable in 2013, taxes flowing into the Park South Special Allocation Fund ended this past November. That fact, together with the final payout to the Mississippi Valley Regional Blood Center of more than $740,000, resulted in the final TIF fund balance of $6,483,000 that will be distributed to all of Springfield's taxing bodies. The following video presentation is intended to thank, commemorate, and celebrate the courage of the Development Group, the City Council, Chamber of Commerce, taxing districts, and various businesses and organizations on the success of that momentous undertaking more than 2 decades ago.
We had an old manufacturing plant that had closed up and literally had major environmental problems.
And I think at one time they may have had 4,000 employees. Well, those people either retired or were left without a job.
But I think that Mayor Langfelder and the council at that time felt the weight, as a lot of people in the community did, of what had taken place. And the fact that something unusual, extraordinary had to be done to turn things around.
The situation at the time, unemployment was very high. We were suffering the fate of a lot of Midwestern communities in terms of losing manufacturing, and certainly those jobs weren't coming back.
I don't think anybody would have probably taken it on without a TIF.
TIF was perfect for dealing with what seemed like an unsurmountable problem at that point in time.
For the city to recognize it had an opportunity to rehab and redevelop this property with the development team and with TIF, it took some courage, and everyone stepped forward, did the right thing, and now we're enjoying the dividends and the benefits that were set in place below these many years ago.
It's one example of the successful utilization of TIF districts in Illinois. You're going to have your naysayers. You're given corporate welfare, et cetera, but you got to stop and think about, if they did not have that TIF, where would they have located? They could have located in another state, in another community. And so those jobs would be in another community, and they might be drawing those people, residents from the Springfield area, into those communities.
Springfield has been a very judicious steward of tax increment financing, and this is really a hallmark of what the tax increment financing program should be.
I would say perfect might be an understatement. I mean, there's no question, if you look physically at what has happened there are dozens of beautiful buildings, pouring lots of property tax into the district for 20 plus years, and now into the bank accounts of local governments, including our school systems.
I've seen TIF projects over the last 20 years, and some of them I really don't think fit what TIF is all about. This definitely is what TIF is all about.
The taxing bodies will get a windfall in terms of the surplus to be distributed. The EAV has risen over the 23-year life of the TIF to 20 times what it was when the TIF was designated. And we have a whole new employment center and commercial area out there with some sites still available for redevelopment. And one of the reasons we want to do that is acknowledge the benefits that TIF has brought to that site, to the community, and thank the developer and the community for their patience and the benefits that are coming, you know, across in a win-win-win situation.
It's sometimes hard to look back and realize what an incredible transformation took place on that property. But I think we should all take a minute to think about it. And I would hope that every single taxing body, when they see that new chunk of revenue coming in shortly, as I understand it, they will say, you know, it's okay that we did without it for 20 plus years, because look what it's doing for us now.
I can't really put a dollar figure on it. I will tell you this, that but for that TIF, there would be no property tax increment, period. There would be no development in the Park South TIF. That area would be vacant. If the developers didn't take that over and have the city TIF that area, you'd have environmentally impaired property that would not be generating any revenue whatsoever.
Not only do the taxing bodies get the benefit of the surplus, they're going to get the benefit of the increased EAV going forward. So it's a double win for those individuals.
It's going to employ jobs, families and individuals for years and years to come. So it's really fulfilled its intention with the TIF district.